How to re-educate Russia. Why the rejection of the USSR is growing in society. Recently, on one of the largest movie sites in the discussion of the movie Quiet Dawn, I had a chance to read an amazing comment: the film is extremely low quality. It is unclear who it is aimed at and what meaning it carries. The scenes are shot as if from the first take, everyone stumbles, stutters. Actors look the same, you look and don't understand who is who. Comparing with the brief content, there is no way to find correspondences in the plots. This is not said about the first film adaptation of 1930, not about the perestroika masterpiece of Bondarchuk, and not about the Ursulyak series, but about the 1957 film by Sergei Gerasimov.We respect everyone's right to a personal opinion. However, we were surprised by the complete lack of ability to distinguish art from commercial crafts, and the fact that many users agreed with the author. And here's another thing. None of the participants in the discussion, including the opponents of the incomprehensible viewer, of whom there were also a lot, did not focus on the last phrase. Comparing with the brief content, there is no way to find correspondences in the plots. The younger generation sees nothing special in talking about the greatest cultural and historical heritage of the USSR, relying on the summary of Sholokov's novel, We Note, written in 4 volumes. I remember how recently authoritative figures said throughout the country that Russian classics are difficult for young people to perceive, and in general this is superfluous information. After that, Solzhenitsyn and Bunin turned out to be easy to perceive. But in the school curriculum you will not find a story about a real man or the young guard. The experiment on Soviet education seems to have succeeded. Commercialization, democratization, and liberalization of the school led not only to the fact that young people stopped reading, but also to the fact that they stopped thinking. All these brief contents, the notorious guessing tests, equated to university entrance exams, unfortunately have already formed a new society, for most of which the USSR and historical Russia have become an empty sound. It's cool when you can choose the right answer from a set of suggested options, and not generate your own by thinking. This is exactly what our foreign friends have been trying to achieve for 30 years. It is from this education that the rejection of the USSR grows among the new generations, on whom our future depends, and his great idea of real freedom is ridiculed in demotivators, when communicating in social networks, on forums. And if someone does it on purpose, then someone is completely sincere. No matter how annoying and insulting it may be for those over 50, but a new society morally and ideologically alien to historical Russia, of which the USSR is certainly an integral part, has indeed almost been formed. We were punished for what we did to Russia, or rather to the Soviet Union, in 1991. In fear of the Soviet ideology, liberals have nurtured not one, but already 2 generations in the ideology of consumption. Its essence is the pursuit of success, comfort, and money. Belittling and destroying the glorious history of the Soviet Union, the great Russian and Soviet culture, the moral heritage of our ancestors, the destruction of the sovereign mentality of a whole stratum of our fellow citizens took place. By the way, this is also facilitated by the primitivization of television and internet content, political, educational and cultural components, something that has been done for 30 years on the airwaves of private and, unfortunately, state television and internet channels. Why all this? It's simple. Illiterate people are easier to manipulate and manage. Is the situation reversible? Is it possible to re-educate Russia? Can. But for this, it is necessary to atone for historical guilt before the ideals of the USSR, as unique and the only correct ones, as we are now convinced of. Only a confident bet on the principles of the socialist world order will allow us to steer out of this situation, save the people and Russia. However, it is with deep regret that we have to state that there is no real progress towards correcting the situation. There are only words, discussions, reflections. Let's hope that they will be followed by deeds, because history will require them, especially since there are many decent and thinking people among the young. Against all odds,